We are in a critical time in our country, no doubt about that. Everybody knows it. We are in a very dying moment in Nigeria. And you know, our judiciary is sitting to decide who becomes the next president of Nigeria. Because we all know that some Nigerians say they don't even know who won the election. And they are not recognizing anybody as the president-elect until the court decides. Now the court is sitting to tell Nigerians who actually won this election. And I tell you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu left Nigeria at such a critical moment. It might shock you to know that even the spokespersons for Bola Ahmed Tinubu do not even know his whereabouts.
Anybody. It's not a secret
so he hasn't told you where he's going?
No, he has told us he'll be in Europe. He has told us that he's going to engage investors in Europe.
Yeah, but where is he now?
And he will be engaging investors in Europe, and of course those engagements will be reported in Nigeria.
Yeah, but where is he now?
At this time,
yeah.
it's not my place to say.
Well, why not? He's the president-elect. Why shouldn't we know? We know where President Buhari is. Why shouldn't we know where he is?
We know he's in Europe at this time.
So guys, you can see that even this spokesperson for Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not know where he is. He said he's in Europe, but he couldn't specify the exact place where Bola Ahmed Tinubu is said to be going to. And you know the culture in the APC. If you try to question more, they will descend on you angrily. Take a look.
And it's clear.
And you're saying we shouldn't ask where he's going, if he's going to invest? I mean, this is not a secret.
No, because,
it shouldn't be a secret, should it?
No, it's not secret.
Yeah.
And it's clear.
And you're saying we shouldn't ask where he's going, if he's going to invest? I mean, this is not a secret.
No, because,
it shouldn't be a secret, should it?
No, it's not secret.
Yeah.
It's
So
going to be in Europe. It's going to be tracked. Whatever he's doing in Europe will be reported. Would be in the public space.
But I would have thought that there'd be an itinerary for what he's going to do in Europe. Why is it being secret?
When he gets into Europe and is engaging with the investors, it will be public knowledge. Right. Nobody is going to stop.
Nigeria remains a drama scene. We can't wait to have the judiciary rescue us from this mess. Honestly, look at what is happening. Does this not look shameful? So guys, it is no strange news that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not in the country. In fact, it was said that he has gone to France to meet with his doctors. And you know, there was this uproar by Nigerians that why should he be leaving the country when the tribunal has just started? We all know that there are petitions before the tribunal against him, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and INEC, the electoral body that declared him the president-elect. But at this critical moment, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not in Nigeria. Take a look.
Second time in as many months, the president-elect Bola Tinubu has travelled out of Nigeria for what his aides have described as a working visit to Europe. A statement said he would be meeting investors as part of efforts to re-establish Nigeria's importance in the global economic chain and to create empowering opportunities for this country's huge youth population. But his critics say it's a cover for a medical trip abroad to see his doctors for aftercare treatment after reportedly falling ill in late March, for which he travelled abroad at the time. So who do we believe? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by a member of the APC's Presidential Campaign Media Directorate, Niyi Akinshiju. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
It's a pleasure and a privilege at the same time, Charles. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, it's a privilege to have you here.
Thanks so much.
So Mr. Tinubu jets off again, ostensibly to woo foreign investors. Tell us more about why he's travelled again for the second time in as many months.
Yeah, I think I also have to call you back. It's not ostensibly. It's a statement clearly made in the public space that it was going out to engage foreign investors and, of course, other forms of businesses that may be interested in Nigeria. This is coming against the background of the fact that as we are and going forward, the Nigerian state needs a lot of infusion of capital. That capital could come domestic, could come foreign. Essentially, we have had a robust domestic capital market, very robust, so much that even where the country needs up to 15 trillion, the domestic market could provide. But yet again, we are challenged by the stream of foreign exchange, that is required. And that is important, important for infrastructural development, infrastructural growth, important for businesses, important for manufacturing companies, important for even service managers who need to import goods and services from across the world. We live on foreign exchange. So, as it were, it is the belief now is that we need to have more foreign investors come into the country. And I think Professor Magalu made that point, though I refuse to adopt his earlier points, on the state of the economy and the reasons for the state of the economy.
The facts are there.
The facts are not there.
His opinion.
No, the facts are not there.
The facts are there to be assessed.
Those things were taken out of context. Nigeria had survived 8 years of an inclement, global-driven, global-induced economic environment. And anybody who is sincere and objective would first want to contextualize whatever is happening to Nigeria from that point of view. Now, going forward, we now know that, in fact, it's not as if we now know, Nigeria had always been in need of money from outside that will supplement whatever we are doing here. It is clear now that we are not an oil economy, because when you do a ratio of our population to our production, numbers in terms of crude oil and gas, it's very low, So we have managed to survive thus far. We are the 31st largest economy in the world. Out of 192 countries, we are 31st, and of course we are the largest in Africa. We are not yet there, but it's a journey. So you need a president-elect who is also understanding enough to know what to do even before he gets into office. So you have a president-elect that knows that for you to start bringing in foreign direct investors, as different from foreign portfolio investors. Foreign portfolio investors can pick their portfolio, within 2 weeks make a decision, depending on the movement of interest rates and other forms of rates within the economy, that makes them take a decision. And they know that they can gas out of the environment of that jurisdiction within a 24 hours period. They take their decision on impulse, and of course, given the kind of rates at play. Now, for you to have foreign direct investors, it takes a longer while, because it is money that comes into your economy and sits down. It does not only sit down for 2 years, sometimes for 10 years before they start earning returns. So serious consideration is given, to the movement of that investment into a jurisdiction in Nigeria.
Well, isn't that all the more reason why you've got to create the right environment? I mean, what's the point of going to woo investors when the country is not ready with the sort of enabling environment that international investors need? I mean, Nigeria doesn't have adequate electricity, it doesn't have infrastructure, it doesn't have security, well, on the level that it should be. Foreign exchange is desperately scarce. Doesn't he need to sort out Nigeria's investment climate first and make it more attractive before he goes courting investors abroad?
Just like I told you, Nigeria is the 31st largest economy in Africa, in the world. And it does mean that there are foreign investors coming in, but not in the numbers we want.
Well, we have the foreign investments is a trickle compared to what Nigeria should be having.
We have challenges. Historical challenges of electricity, historical challenges of roads, historical challenges of social infrastructure, that it is now said that we need $100 billion investment every year to be able to bridge that gap over the next 30 years. So which means we are talking of, to bridge that gap, we need $30 billion, over the next $300 billion over the next, $3 trillion, over the next 30 years to bridge the gap.
Well, you've portrayed Mr. Tinubu as a magic worker. I mean, he's got a Harry Potter wand, so I presume he's going to wave a wand and that money is going to come in.
Thankfully, he understands the challenges, and that is why he's setting out early enough. So if you are questioning why he's setting out, we need to also clarify the fact he understands the challenges. He understands the environment. And of course, he also understands the potentials of Nigeria. No investor would not want to come to Nigeria where the president-elect, for instance, had become the chief marketing officer. And it's exciting to know that at this time, see, if he had done this...
So the APC has failed to do that in the last 8 years. That's why foreign direct investment has become a trickle.
No, it's a global thing. If he had done this in 2020 or 2021, nobody would have come, and that was why
you've been in office since 2015.
Foreign investments in Nigeria in 2019 was up to 25 billion.
Well, that's not the information that we've got.
Get to go and check it, please.
Yeah, I have checked.
In 2021, it fell to as low as 5 billion. Not foreign, I said foreign investment. That is inclusive of foreign portfolio and, of course, foreign direct investment. Okay?
Well, let's move away from sort of pedantic arguments about this and that, because the facts are there for all to see.
You see, when you are talking about the facts, let's put it on the table. I just told you what are foreign direct investment, inclusive of foreign portfolio investment, was in 2019, and what happened to it in 2020 because of the COVID pandemic. And of course, the fallout of the Russia-Ukraine war engagement and all that. That, in so many ways, affected the channels of stream of foreign exchange.
Well, the fact is that foreign direct investment in Nigeria has been falling consecutively year after year since 2015. That's a fact.
Let me say this. I also have I have a contrary fact.
Well, I mean,
I have a contrary fact.
That's why I said your time is ticking away, and if you want to spend time arguing about that,
we can go on. But there are other
issues
here.
Yes,
please. Okay, let's continue.
And I'm sure you know there are widely circulating reports suggesting that this so-called working visit to Europe by Mr. Tinubu is just a cover for a medical trip. Those reports suggest that he fell ill in March and had to go for treatment, and now he's gone for aftercare to make sure he can withstand the rigors of the inauguration and its aftermath. What's your response to that?
This is a more pedantic position because it has no roots in facts. It has no roots in logic.
Well, it's not about logic. It's about reports that are circulating, which we need you to dispel.
So that's what I'm saying, because you have an official statement issued. If you are going to make a contrary position, you also need to bring out facts, clear facts, to say, okay, you have access to a doctor's report that is indicating that this person had fallen ill and was going to go for an aftercare, something, whatever. But a statement had been issued. That is the statement of trust from an institution. The institution now is the office of the president-elect. So if you are going to take a contrary position, and we are not going to call it pedantic, we need to talk about those facts. What you have just said now is pure speculation, conjectures.
No, what we're doing is that we're quoting reports that are in the public space.
So who are the authors of these reports?
No. Let's
who are the authors of the reports?
Well, I mean, you can see them. They're all over the place.
So you have bystanders,
and some of them from credible news organizations.
No. You have bystanders. you have pedestrian bystanders making up their imaginations, putting it in the public space, and we are making an issue out of it. When the office of the president-elect had issued a statement, the first element, the first doubt, the first element of trust should be on the side of that statement.
Okay, let's run with the version of the story that his aides, like yourself, have put out, which is that he's in Europe on a working visit. The statement said that he would engage with investors and other key allies with the goal of marketing investment opportunities in Nigeria. How many countries is he visiting in Europe?
Well, you know how many countries are there in Europe.
I'm asking you a straightforward question.
We don't have
how many countries? Because
we don't have that itinerary.
Right.
But you would presume
that if he's going on a marketing trip, he would not limit himself to just one country,
Definitely.
which is rumored to be France, but would be traveling across Europe to woo as many investors as possible. But it sounds as if he's going to one country, doesn't it? That's the information we're having, is that he's gone to France.
No. The statement did not say anything about France.
But
the statement is clear on Europe.
The statement was making a specific point. It wasn't getting into the scope and scale of the travel.
So that's the limit of the statement, as it were. And it's clear.
And you're saying we shouldn't ask where he's going, if he's going to invest? I mean, this is not a secret.
No, because,
it shouldn't be a secret, should it?
No, it's not secret.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Europe. It's going to be tracked. Whatever he's doing in Europe will be reported. Would be in the public space.
But I would have thought that there'd be an itinerary for what he's going to do in Europe. Why is it being secret?
When he gets into Europe and is engaging with the investors, it will be public knowledge. Right. Nobody is going to stop anybody. It's not a secret engagement.
So he hasn't told you where he's going?
No, he has told us he'll be in Europe. He has told us that he's going to engage investors in Europe.
Yeah, but where is he now?
And he will be engaging investors in Europe, and of course those engagements will be reported in Nigeria.
Yeah, but where is he now?
At this time, it's not my place to say.
Well, why not? He's the president-elect. Why shouldn't we know? We know where President Buhari is. Why shouldn't we know where he is?
We know he's in Europe at this time.
But he's in a mysterious place in Europe.
There's no mystery about it.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing, it is not as if when he's in a room, you are going to, light him up with your camera and all that. But at this moment, we know that he's in Europe. He has a mission. There's an objective he has gone to accomplish, and those objectives have been put in the public space.
Right. And are we going to be privy to information about the people he's talking to and the investors?
I just told you now.
He's wooing, or is that also going to be hidden? I told you. I told you. I was anticipating that. I told you that he would engage people. Those people would be engaging. Those engagement will be reported in the public space in Nigeria. To be hearing daily reports.
Definitely.
Of what
I'm not talking about daily reports. I'm not talking about daily reports, but whatever he's doing will be reported in the public space. I'm not talking about daily reports.
But you do understand, and we're not trying to be antagonistic. We're just trying to get information which ought to be in the public space.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, if he's returning to the same France, which he is rumored to be returning to, the same France he went to in March when there were all these stories about his being ill and so on. You can see why people are more likely to believe that he's returning to his doctors than that he's going back there to woo investors, when you would have thought that he'd be traveling across Europe.
See, Charles, you've been talking about rumors.
Well, I'm asking you. Seriously, I'm asking you a question.
For me, and I know,
I'm trying to.
I know you are a communication expert.
But we're trying to dispel those rumors.
No, the rumors in the first instance are of no substance. So, and of course, I was talking to you about logic. The basis of conjecture, when it moves beyond rumor, is to start stringing what your imagination could be about something. Now, so people are saying, some people, not all people, some people are saying, oh no, he's going visiting his doctor after visit in France and all that. And I'm saying, what makes such people, come to that conclusion in the first instance?
Well, I just told you.
It's speculations.
Because he's
conjectures.
Well, the way to dispel this, and we will hold you to that, is for us to get consistent reports about his trip.
I just told you.
That's what I'm saying.
You have not asked me that question.
I am reinforcing.
Yeah, you have not asked me that question before. I told you, because it is the expectation.
Right.
It is what goes with this mission that he would engage. We would see, and we will know that this president-elect is being proactive and is doing what is right at this present point in time.
Well, I shall be looking forward to getting those reports.
That will be good.
Hopefully through yourself, but all your other
Of course,
colleagues and so on.
We have a large department on
Niyi,
that.
I want to thank you very much indeed, and it's a great pleasure to have you here. Niyi Akinchiju is a member of the APC's presidential campaign.
Even the spokespersons for Bola Ahmed Tinubu do not even know his whereabouts. Fellow Nigerians, this is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. Anytime Nigerians try to question some of the actions of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his spokespersons will want to descend on that individual, as in they will be ready to fight. But you know, gone are the days when Nigerians are taken for a ride. This time around, Nigerians are questioning, where is Bola Ahmed Tinubu? That is the question. The spokespersons for Bola Ahmed Tinubu do not even know where he is. We are in a critical time in our country, no doubt about that. Everybody knows it. We are in a very dying moment in Nigeria. And you know, our judiciary is sitting to decide who becomes the next president of Nigeria. Because we all know that some Nigerians say they don't even know who won the election. And they are not recognizing anybody as the president-elect until the court decides. Now the court is sitting to tell Nigerians who actually won this election. And I tell you, Bola Ahmed Tinubu left Nigeria at such a critical moment. So guys, it has become a norm by the APC never to tell Nigerians the truth. We all know how Bola Ahmed Tinubu left after the election, and they told us he has gone to rest, not knowing that he wasn't feeling well. There is nothing wrong about somebody falling sick. Anybody can fall sick. But once you become a public official, Nigerians want to question your whereabouts. Nigerians even want to know your state of health. And I don't think it is a big deal for us to ask. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell. Please give this video a like so that YouTube can recommend it to others. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you.